Now, if you're even remotely familiar with SmartBox, you know that we've leveraged our industry-leading patient attraction system to help almost 600 dentists across the world attract more and better patients. Now, one of the key tenets of our system is that we want dentists to focus on doing the dentistry and offload the marketing to us, and to let us focus on your marketing and keep you doing your most profitable activity, treating patients. On today's Inside Patient Attraction, I'm going to be joined by Ashley, our senior practice consultant, who's going to talk all about how our system integrates and attracts more and better patients for our dentists all around the world. I'm Colin, a receiver, and thanks for watching Inside Patient Attraction. At today's episode, I'm joined by Ashley Best, who's our senior practice consultant here at SmartBox. Welcome on the show.
Thanks, Colin.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So when you're working with a dentist, Ashley, tell me a little bit about what you're doing with them and how you're interacting.
Yeah, so it kind of starts out, I'm taking a look at what they're doing online, really, looking at the complete system that's in place to show them what's working really well, to attract new patients and where the deficits are, what they're missing out on, and why the phone's not ringing.
What kind of common things do you come across that a dentist might be missing with their current patient attraction?
Let me start by saying it is a complete system, and we want to make sure all those components are in place before that system goes live. What I typically see is some things missing here and there that are making the entire thing kind of off whack. You know, it's not working together, it's not synergistic, but kind of starting from the initial approach, the hub, you have to have a website, right? That's first and foremost, and it's not really a build it and they will come. We've got to promote it, right? I see a lot that aren't even built in fully responsive design these days, and actually Google's penalizing those sites now. So if they have a site that isn't fully responsive, somebody comes to it on a cell phone and can't navigate it easily, that's kind of a big red X.
Well, let's hit on that because I know a lot of our viewers out there have heard a lot about fully responsive stuff and they know mobile design and they've heard a lot of these words. Tell me what fully responsive is and how that's different from maybe things in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Previously, a lot of people had what you would call a mobile site, a separate site for their website. Now, that needs to be built out in fully responsive design so that if I go to their website on an iPad, a cell phone, a desktop, everything adjusts. You know, you can read everything as clearly as possible, get to the information you're looking for very quickly. That needs to have a click-to-call button, things of that nature. You know, we see about 50 to 60% of traffic coming from a cell phone, so you need to cater to that audience.
That's a big portion of a dentist's audience or prospective patients coming from cell phones.
Absolutely, and they're probably distracted while they're there. They're not there to do research. They're there to do a few quick things, click to call, get the hours and the location.
A few touch points they're looking for to skim very quickly.
Absolutely.
So once this person, finds the practice and they're on the website, what happens from there? What are you looking for to help move that patient towards a phone call?
As I mentioned earlier, it's not a build it and they will come. Having a website really isn't good enough these days. You have to do the things that are going to attract those patients. So what type of content does the website have? Is there blogging? Are there articles? Are there press releases? Are there things that are setting the doctor up as the expert, videos to really humanize that doctor and become the expert within the community on any given topic? Those things are very, very important to have as well.
Why is becoming an expert so important? I mean, we talk about that a lot, but what is your view on why that's so important?
You know, I think when people are choosing a dentist that they want to work with someone they know and trust and someone that's likable. It's really hard to build rapport with somebody through a website. So if you can have things like video on there that can do that to really showcase your personality, maybe the doctor interacting with some patients, showing their chairside manner, really building that rapport before that patient ever comes in the office so they can feel like they already know them.
Very cool, very cool. So when a patient is searching, in their local market for a dentist, how do they find a local dentist to them?
Yeah, local search is critically important, right? No one wants to be searching for a dentist down in Florida and seeing results for someone in Seattle. It doesn't make much sense, right? So everything about Google needs to be extremely localized. When we start to look at search, you need to be hitting the right patients at the right time, and they definitely need to be in the right place in proximity to your office.
And then what? I mean, how do you, once you get them on your website, I know a lot of companies out there just market to the advertising, the visibility, right? Get them to your site, but that isn't the whole battle being fought. What do you do with those patients after they get to the site?
Yeah, I always tell doctors it's way too expensive to market to the same person to get them to come back to the site over and over again through things like paid ads or display advertising. So you really want a system in place that's going to continue that conversation once they leave. Things like drip marketing that they can opt into and start to get really educational pieces from that doctor. Things like retargeting. Things that are really going to allow the doctor to remain relevant. If that buying cycle is 6 to 12 months, that patient may be just starting to dip their toe into the research funnel of looking for implants or cosmetics, something that's going to take a while. So you really need to make sure that you're staying in front of them and remaining relevant.
Awesome. And then I guess social media, the big elephant in the room too.
Absolutely. Social media is extremely important as well. There's certain things that it's great for, certain things it's not great for. It's just really finding what your market will allow and really trying to dig down into what type of patient you want in the office and then developing a strategy to target them on social media.
How do you know what strategies are working and what's not?
There's certain ways to test it. Doing A/B testing is extremely important. Putting out one message and comparing it to the results of another. We actually can listen now to the calls coming into an office and track what's working really well, doing those A/B tests, putting specific phone numbers on those to really determine, hey, this is working well, this didn't work so well. Keep doing more of the great things and pull back on the things that may have not panned out.
Now, does putting different phone numbers out there have a negative effect on SEO or on local search optimization?
No. That's a common misconception that multiple different phone numbers will, put a hindrance on your search engine optimization, and that's definitely not the case.
I mean, that's a question I hear all the time from doctors.
Absolutely. Same here.
Yeah. So, we're listening to these calls, we're tracking where they're coming from. Tell me a little bit about what you see on the phone side about, getting these new patients appointed and butts in the chairs.
The doctors are putting a lot of money into marketing, and the average office isn't answering anywhere from 30 to 40% of calls during business hours.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's money wasted.
That's a lot of money wasted. I mean, that's marketing dollars generating phone calls, not appointing into butts in the chair. That's just flushing dollars down the toilet.
Absolutely, which is why we have phone training options. They're so critical. If we can get the phone to ring, who's taking over from there?
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that staff is trained and that they're well equipped to answer the phone and appoint that patient. That's what's most important.
And get the butts in the chairs.
Absolutely, butts in the seats.
Cool.
Say it all the time, right?
Yep, that's it.
So tracking new patients really allows us to fine-tune our patient attraction system to understand what's working and not working and really make the best out of that patient attraction system.
That's awesome. So literally optimizing what marketing's working the best based on butts in the chairs.
You have to. You have to know what's working and where the dollars are going and what's working the best and what's making the phone ring and then how the patients are ending up in the seat, right?
That's the bottom dollar.
Absolutely. I'd like to add just one more thing. I noticed that most dental practices are missing one or several of these key components or trying to really piecemeal everything together with multiple different vendors, which is why they're not getting the new patients that they need.
It never really meshes together. It's not cohesive.
Not synergistic at all.
Yeah. So if you're not getting the number of new patients you want or the type of new patients that you need to attract, give us a call. Visit patientattractionblueprint.com or call the number at the bottom of the screen now. And we'd love to show you what a patient attraction system that can help you generate more and better patients can do for your practice. Ashley, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's been awesome to have you here and share some of your wisdom with all of our dentists and listeners around the world.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
As always, guys and gals, keep moving forward. Are you on the dental treadmill of low case value patients? Are you working too hard for too little? A SmartBox practice discovery session will show you how to get the patients that you want. And they're free to serious dentists who want to get off the treadmill. Come on, you see the link over here. Click here. Yeah, click right there.